Hi everyone and welcome back to Saturn Secrets. Today we're discussing the full moon in Virgo and what it means for your zodiac sign. Hi everyone, welcome back to Saturn Secrets. Today we're discussing the full moon in Virgo, which is happening on the 18th of March 2022 and what it means for your zodiac sign. So if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for regular updates. So this Virgo full moon is happening on the 18th of March and it is going to be at 27 degrees of Virgo. So if you pull up your birth chart and you have a little look, you will see if you have anything at 27 degrees of Virgo. This could be a personal planet like Mercury, or this could be an angle like your midheaven or your ascendant. But if you have anything at 27 degrees of Virgo specifically, this full moon is going to be quite impactful for you. Now, I did say 25. If you have anything at 25, 26, 28, or 29 degrees of Virgo, you may also be feeling this impact because it is going to be forming this conjunction with your personal placement or angle. So do have a little look at your birth chart and see if you have anything there. Similarly, if you have any placements planet-wise or angle-wise at 27 degrees of any of the mutable signs, so that would be Virgo itself, that would be Pisces, that would be Gemini, or that would be Sagittarius, this full moon may also be quite impactful for you, especially if it is an angle. So we will be going into what this means in terms of your zodiac sign. So if you look up your rising sign and watch your rising sign, we will see where this is falling in your birth chart using the whole sign system. This is going to be a full moon in Virgo. So this is illuminating the Virgo Pisces axis, which in astrology is the health axis. So themes around this full moon. Now, full moons are times of culmination, they're times of fruition. They're also at times of exposing, because the full moon sees all. So there could be news for you in your personal life or us on the grand scale surrounding themes of work, surrounding themes of perfectionism, detail, and also health. These are going to be key themes that are coming up with this full moon in Virgo. So there could be news on the world axis about health being a key theme, for example. And full moons are typically times where, as I say, there's a culmination of the energy. So in Virgo, this might be a time when you notice that people are more prone to buying cleaning products, to buying organizers, to buy storage, to buy stationery. These are all Virgo themes that can come up around the full moon. So you might have this real strong urge to declutter your space, to clean your space, to organize your space. And this is really going to help out with your mental health too, because it is going to be opposite the sun in Pisces. If you have anything at 27 degrees of Pisces, this full moon can also be very impactful for you. So the more clean and organized you and your space are, the more it's going to help your mental and emotional well-being with this full moon. And it's likely around this time that it's going to show you how that is. So it might be that you notice you wake up in a really bad mood and realize that your space is very messy, very chaotic, or needs a good dust or something like this. So because this is happening at a weekend, this might be a time when you decide to put a few hours aside to do a deep clean, to organize, to reorganize, and to declutter. This is all going to be very advantageous to you and your emotional well-being because it is opposite the sun in Pisces. So this full moon in Virgo is really interesting because it is forming the handle on the bucket. If you look at a chart of the sky at the moment, we have Pluto in Capricorn, we have Mars and Venus and Saturn in Aquarius, we have the Sun, we have Mercury, we have Neptune and Jupiter all in Pisces, we have Chiron in Aries, and we have the North Node and Uranus in Taurus. So the planets are all gathered up on one side of the sky, and the full moon in Virgo is happening opposite a lot of these Pisces placements, meaning that it is forming the handle on a bucket. So this full moon is actually quite key because without the handle, the bucket is a bit harder to navigate, especially because we have so much in Pisces. This bucket is full of water, so it's heavy. And this handle is going to be very beneficial to us. It's going to help us carry this emotional energy of Pisces. It's going to balance it. It's going to make it easier. It's going to be more productive. So if you've been having trouble with the Piscean energy, maybe channeling your feelings, channeling your emotions, this Virgo full moon is the handle you need to carry this bucket. to carry these emotions, and maybe even to tip out some of these emotions, because full moons can be quite emotional. So this full moon itself is also forming this ground earth trine with Pluto in Capricorn and the true node in Taurus. So this is a very grounding energy, which is actually why I'm sitting on the floor and surrounded by flowers and my plant. It's because this is a very grounding full moon amidst a sky that has been quite spacey, with so much in Aquarius and so much in Pisces. It's been really quite out there. It's been really quite spacey. It's been really quite all over the place. I think a lot of people have been feeling very all over the place, very confused, very in their heads, very in their feels. And this Virgo full moon is, as I, offering you a handle on these things, quite literally. So this trine to Pluto means that if you're looking at a Virgo theme where you want to be organized at something, you want to perhaps, you know, Virgo is associated with work. Maybe you want to find a new job. Maybe you want to change employment. Maybe you want to organize your space. Maybe you want to take more control over your schedule. This is going to be trining Pluto in Capricorn, okay? So the change that's coming in is very supported by Pluto. Pluto is to do with transformation and change, and a lot of the time with Pluto, in fact most of the time with Pluto, this is the type of change that stays changed, okay? Pluto's been in Capricorn since 2008. So if you have a particular work goal or a health goal, this full moon is really supported by Pluto in making that happen, because Pluto is in Capricorn, which is associated with our goals. It's also to do with power. So there is a way of taking back a bit of power here. Now, it's very easy with Pluto and Capricorn because it is such an expose of who holds the power. And Pluto and Capricorn, I think more so than any Pluto transit that we've known in our lifetime, because for most people, because Pluto is such a slow moving planet, this is one of the most, in fact I would say it is the key. It's the most likely time where we've been aware of who has the power and who doesn't. So with this full moon, there's a supportive aspect to taking back your power. Now, how are you doing that? Well, it's to do with taking back your power in terms of what you're ingesting with Virgo, what you're eating, what you're using. For a lot of people, this is going to be a dietary change that comes up around this time. It's going to be an exercise change, a routine change. With Virgo and Pisces, it could be that some people are discovering, if they don't already use it, meditation. It could be discovering a new way of eating that really takes back your control over your day, the control over what you're doing. And in this turn, then it impacts positively your mental health and makes you feel more grounded. So this is about taking back your power in very practical ways, possibly quite subtle ways, but really are beneficial to you on a grander scale and in terms of meeting the goals that you want to meet in your life, whether that's that you simply want maybe to, because goals are so personal to different people. Just because it's Pluto and Capricorn doesn't mean that everyone wants to be a CEO. They don't always want to be a boss. It's not that. It's about having a personal goal to yourself. Maybe it's just being at peace. Maybe it's just feeling good in your skin. Whatever the goal is to you, this supportive trine to Pluto is saying, hey, I'm going to help you make these changes. I'm going to help you transform what it is that you want to do with this Virgo energy, what it is that you want to work towards, what it is that you want to release and declutter, what you want to let go of. So a significant and promising change with Pluto trining this full moon, especially because Pluto is trining the North Node as well. And this full moon is also trining the North Node. There's a sense of destiny to this. There is a sense of power and a sense of destiny with this full moon that you can really take back a lot of your confidence in terms of your own destiny, especially if it is related to health or work. There is a sense of taking back your own personal power and figuring out what it is that you want for yourself. This is a very supportive full moon, I want to tell you. So another reason that this full moon is so supportive is because it is ruled by Mercury. Virgo is ruled by Mercury, and Mercury is in Pisces at the moment. It is conjunct Jupiter. Jupiter, we know, is the great benefic. And with this being said, there could be very positive news for a lot of people around this, especially if you have anything in Pisces, you know, because the Pisces placements are being lit up by Jupiter for most of this year. This is a time where there might be positive news coming in, positive communication, favorable communication and positive insights into particular where Pisces is in your chart. Now Mercury is also sextiling Uranus, which means that there could be some positive surprising news around this time. So this full moon itself seems to be very much an illumination of matters of health, matters of detail, and it is bringing in this positive transformation and support with Pluto. And it is also showing us, in essence, a bit of a destiny here, because the North Node is going to be going through Taurus for the next year and a half, and when the North Node is going through a particular sign, it is showing us our destiny, the changes that we're going to make, the fated impacts. Because it's in a conversation with this full moon, it's very likely that this full moon is going to be showing us in some way how we're going to work towards our destiny. With it being in Taurus, it's working towards what is sustainable, what is valuable, how we want to change the financial system, maybe how people are taking back a little bit of control. How, with Pluto being there and the North Node being there together, how perhaps there's too many people controlling what belongs to everybody in terms of natural resources, in terms of finances, in terms of what should actually be, looked at differently. Now, this doesn't mean that, when people are saying these things, doesn't mean we're necessarily offering up what that change should be. It's just the themes. It's not personal opinion. It's just the themes of what this change should be. So it's really interesting actually as a full moon. I have to say there's a lot going on, but it's more the fact that it is the handle in the bucket that I'm seeing with this full moon as being Virgo is just such a sign that loves to make itself useful. It loves to be practical. It loves to give you what you need. And this full moon is going to in some way show us what we need. So I did draw a couple of cards for this full moon to see what the overall theme was before we get into your zodiac signs. And I got the High Priestess and the Page of Pentacles. So on one end of the spectrum, we have the High Priestess associated with Pisces, associated with the mysteries of life, the connection to the divine, the connection to what's spiritual, whatever that relationship is for you. Because everybody has that relationship. You could be watching an astrology video and think, this is absolute mumbo jumbo. That's still a relationship. That's still your link to what's spiritual. Maybe it is that you just don't have that faith. Maybe it is that you see it as being something that is far too whimsical and far too abstract. Or maybe you're someone who is a medium. Maybe you are someone who is a psychic, a tarot reader, a clairvoyant. You're just somebody who has a really strong link to what is not seen, to what is not obvious. So this High Priestess is really showing you around this full moon in Virgo what that relationship looks like, because Virgo itself is to do with the practical. It is to do with what we work at. And Pisces is more to do with what we feel, but the two can be balanced. That's why there's two pillars in the High Priestess. There's the dark and there's the light. And the full moon has a way of illuminating both. With the Page of Pentacles, it is what we're working towards. So perhaps for some of you, with this full moon in Virgo, you're working towards a practical goal. Perhaps you're working on a spiritual skill. Perhaps you're trying to develop your relationship with the divine in the way that you know best to. And this could be that you're going through a forest, walking and connecting to your higher self, whether you identify with the universe, with God, or with just your brain, whatever it is that it, rings true to you. This is about taking small practical steps to developing that relationship. And also accepting that sometimes we have to work towards a goal. We have to work towards a future where we just don't have all the answers. In fact, that is the case most of the time, but we rely on different things. We rely on data to predict the future. Sometimes we rely on history to predict the future. Sometimes we rely on tarot. Sometimes we rely on astrology. And sometimes we rely on what is, as I say, Piscean, such as our connection to the divine, such as prayer, such as manifestations, such as tarot, such as astrology. And then sometimes, as I say, we use the Virgo side, we use data, we use analysis, and we use what we do in our routines to shape our future. So whatever it looks like to you, you're figuring out what it is on a day-to-day basis that you're relying on to build the future you want. And it's going to be very clear to you around this time what you're doing and if you need to change anything in terms of your routines or your spiritual practice. So if you would like to know what this means for your zodiac sign, have a little look at the timestamps listed below. You can watch your rising sign, you can watch your sun sign or your moon sign. Sometimes you resonate with one more than other. In terms of astrology, the preferred practice is to watch your rising sign, but I myself have found that sometimes it's the rising and sometimes the sun and sometimes the moon. So just watch all three and see if you can get an overall picture. So that is what I have for you. I hope you have a beautiful full moon and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hi Aries. So this full moon for you Aries is happening in your 6th house of health and work. So this full moon is exposing your routines, your schedules. It may be that around this time some sort of work project or fitness or health goal is coming to fruition, or there is going to be some news surrounding your health. We do have a lot going on in your 12th house at the moment, Aries. So there is this feeling of cleaning up house in terms of your mental health, your emotional health and well-being. But this full moon for you is exposing particular notions, particular feelings, particular thoughts surrounding your work life and surrounding your physical health. So maybe, as I say, you're achieving some sort of health goal, some sort of work project is wrapping up in the practical sense, or it might be that you're becoming very aware of what it is that you're eating, what it is that you're doing in a day-to-day, and how this is shaping your career goals, your long-term goals, and your finances in particular. So around this full moon, you might notice that a particular work project has reached its completion and you're getting some positive feedback from people in positions of power. If you've been applying for a job or considering a new job, it may be that you hear some news around this time about what that is going to be for you in terms of a result. With the trine to Pluto, I feel like it's more likely to be a favorable thing, especially if you've been doing a lot of work behind the scenes, which is where Jupiter is. Jupiter is this guardian angel behind the scenes. So Jupiter is more so for you at the moment, supporting you emotionally and helping you work through some mental health things or helping you get the best results regarding what it is that you're working on behind the scenes, what you're working on privately. So that could be that you're, anything that you're doing that isn't obvious to people, something you're working on for a goal that is further down the line, or something that takes a lot of time to come to fruition is also something that is around this time being favored. So if you are not feeling necessarily like you're getting the recognition that you want on something, it is very likely going to be something that does come further down the line, and that whatever is being exposed around this time is going to help you and assist you. So it's very likely that there is going to be some energies coming up for you, Aries. In terms of your health and well-being, it might be that you realize that you have been putting too much pressure on your body. It might be that you're getting some health news. This is a good time for a health appointment if you need to get something looked at, because you're more likely to get the results, and the results are more likely to be clear. It might be a time where you find yourself very busy as well, but because we do have so much energy in Pisces, it's important that you make some time for yourself, Aries. With the strength card being here, I think for you, a lot of you are probably working quite hard in the gym. With the strength card, it can be to do with weight training. It might also be that something like weight training, if you're not doing it, would really help you feel grounded. This can be that you're meeting a particular goal. And this is also likely that your strength and perseverance on a particular project or with a particular goal is going to be rewarded. And if you don't see it now, you will see it in the future. And this card wants you to keep going, Aries. Okay, so that is what I have for you. I hope you have a beautiful full moon, and I will talk to you soon. Bye. Hi Taurus. So Taurus, this full moon is in your fellow earth sign Virgo, and it is going to be trining the true node in your sign and Pluto in your fellow earth sign Capricorn. So if you are a Taurus that has anything at 27 degrees of Virgo, anything, if you have placements in Taurus at 27 degrees, you're very likely going to be feeling a positive shift around this full moon. So if you have anything at 27 degrees of Virgo, Capricorn or Taurus, but because you are a Taurus, if you have anything at these personal placements, you're likely going to feel a positive shift with this particular full moon, because it is going to be giving you support. So this full moon is very supportive in general, but for you, with it being in Virgo Taurus, it's happening in your 5th house. So your 5th house is to do with joy, it's to do with pleasure, it is to do with fun, it is also to do with creativity, the arts, and it is also to do with children and fertility. So any one of these could come into fruition, as it were, around this time. So perhaps for some of you, you are expecting, you give birth around this time, or you find out you're pregnant around this time. For others of you, you might get news surrounding a child at this time. One of your children could be coming into the spotlight in some regard with this full moon. Because it is trining Pluto, and Pluto is in your 9th house, it could be to do with traveling. So you might be traveling with a child. A child might be doing very well at university, because the 9th house is also to do with university and further study. So if it's not that, it can be to do with creativity, it can be to do with fun. So for a lot of you, this might be a very fun period. You might be having a really fun trip if you are traveling. You might also be having maybe you're traveling for an art show, maybe you're traveling for something creative, maybe you're traveling for romance or traveling for love. There could be some romance coming up around this time, Taurus, I have to say. This can be a time of falling in love. This can be a wonderful time to go on a date, especially if it's with someone who's not your usual type, or maybe finding that a friendship is turning romantic around this time, looking at a friend in a different way or being introduced to a friend. Great time for a blind date. If you have a friend that wants to set you up with somebody, go for it. If you're in a relationship, this might just be a time when you're feeling very passionate about your partner. You're injecting some more romance into your relationship. You might be taking a trip together that is going to help you relight the spark, or you might be learning something together. You did get the Ace of Wands, Taurus, very appropriate. So again, this is a fertility card. So for some of you, you could be finding out you're pregnant or getting pregnant around this time, or it might just be that you're having a lot of fun, you're having a lot of passion, you're having a lot of romance with the Ace of Wands. It's very passionate, it's very phallic. You can tell to look at the card, but it is a really exciting time, and it's also, as much as it's a full moon and it's to do with fruition, we know that anything that comes to fruition can have a new beginning impact to it, because what is exposed, something has to change or something starts to grow. With the Ace of Wands, I do feel like there's a lot of passion in this for you, a spark, something new. And if it's just a lot of fun, then it is just what you need, Taurus. So that is what I have for you. I hope you have a beautiful full moon, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hi Gemini, welcome to the full moon in Virgo for your sign. So Gemini, this is happening in your 4th house, which is to do with home, which is to do with family. So in terms of home and family, it might be that some emotions are coming to a head. It might be that something is being exposed. Something important is coming up around this time that you have to discuss with your family. It could also be for some of you that you're moving house, you're maybe redecorating your house, you're maybe decluttering your space, you may be paying a lot of attention to your home and personal life at this time. Gemini, there is also still a lot going on in your work space. So because of the connection between Mercury and Jupiter, there might be some very good news to do with work. That you're celebrating with your family, for example, at this time. Now, the full moon is trining Pluto, and Pluto is in Capricorn, which for you, Gemini, is to do with your intimate life, your personal life in terms of intimate relationships. It can be to do with your spouse's money or your spouse's assets. It can be to do with other people's money. So it might be that you're possibly this can be to do with mortgages with its connection to the 4th house, refinancing a home, purchasing a home, getting a loan from the bank. These sort of things can come up, or it can be moving in with a significant other, getting a property with a significant other, or it can just be more felt on an emotional level. It can be to do with the past. It can be to do with wrapping up the past, healing from the past, changing the past, because all 3 of the signs in this trine fall in your water sign houses. So the 4th house, the 8th house, and the 12th house. This can be a time when you're really decluttering your emotional space and realizing what it is that you're feeling about your family, what it is that you're feeling about intimacy and relationships, and also what it is that you need to heal, what it is that you need to forgive, and what it is that you need to let go of. So it will either show up for you in a practical sense, redecorating your space, changing your home, emotions coming to a head in family matters, or it can just be that you're feeling quite nostalgic. It can be that a lot of emotions are coming up. But whatever it is, Gemini, with the King of Swords here, I think some of you are dealing in particular very closely with an an air sign. So it could be another Gemini, a Libra, or an Aquarius, or it could be that somebody is popping up around this time that's really very significant. I think for a lot of you, this is also to do with asserting boundaries. This can focus on your relationships with males, because for you with the sun and the moon, they are on your male-female axis. So mother, father, male, female. I think a lot of you could be dealing with an important male around this time. And I also think with the sun being in Pisces and Jupiter being there, some of you might have to step up as a leader. Some of you might have to step up as the patriarch or matriarch in a family dilemma or a work dilemma. I think a lot of you are being called into a leadership role or being called to take the wheel in situations, whether it is family or home. But that is what I have for you, Gemini. I hope you have a beautiful full moon, and I'll talk to you soon. Hi, Cancer. Welcome to your full moon in Virgo segment. So Cancer, this full moon in Virgo is happening for you in your 3rd house. Now this is to do with communication. So to have Virgo as your 3rd house means that communication is something that is quite important to you. This full moon means that it could be exposing communication with someone. You could be getting very important news. You could be getting very important news surrounding your partnership. You could be getting very important news surrounding your friendships and your close relationships in general. It could also be a sibling, it could be a neighbor. And it feels for you, Cancer, like your relationships with others are very much going to be in the spotlight around this time. But I get the sense with this that you're hearing something or discussing something with someone that possibly pulls you closer or possibly exposes the feelings that they have surrounding you. Because of the trine to Pluto, I do feel that in terms of your relationships, there's likely to be good news. There's likely to be open dialogue with a partnership. There's likely to be perhaps an offer of partnership. Perhaps your partner is discussing something with you, or you're having a very important conversation surrounding your future with your partner. And this can be with the true node there being in Taurus. It can also be that you're having important communication regarding a friend, but this is really putting open dialogue into the spotlight for you, Cancer. You got the Knight of Cups. So I do feel like someone is sharing their feelings with you. Someone is possibly making you a romantic offer. You're possibly hearing from somebody that you really want to hear from. You're hearing from a more romantic interest. You might have a lot of romantic interest at this time. You might be hearing from someone you haven't heard from in a while. It could be an old friend, or it could be you reaching out to them. Some of you could be getting a proposal with Pluto being there in the 7th house. There feels like there could be a very romantic energy with this Knight of Cups. So I think for a lot of Cancers, especially Cancer risings, you're going to be hearing some news around this time. And it's likely something that is to do with matters of the heart, a relationship, be it romantic, be it platonic, be it family. It feels like you're getting news around this time, and the Knight of Cups really confirms that. So there is going to be an expose of your communication in general. So perhaps you're realizing a better way of communicating with this Knight of Cups energy. Perhaps you're realizing that it's not always what you say, it's how you say it or the timing of saying it. So I think a lot of you are really getting into your communication style. You might also find yourself reading more around this time, listening to podcasts more, really wanting to enrich your mind with knowledge and facts, with this being a full moon in your 3rd house. So that's what I have for you, Cancer. If you hope I hope you have a beautiful full moon, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hi Leo, welcome to the full moon in Virgo for your sign. Leo, this is happening in your 2nd house. Now this is to do with your finances, it's to do with your values, your worth, it's to do with your confidence. So this full moon is really exposing these areas for you. Perhaps you're having to look at your finances very clearly. And with Pluto being there in Capricorn in your 6th house, you're having to figure out some kind of financial plan. You're having to figure out some sort of schedule or routine in terms of your finances, in terms of your money, or you're figuring out an exercise regime that was going to make you feel more confident, or a meditation regime, or you're incorporating something into your day-to-day. You're changing something about your schedule, or maybe even your work that is going to positively impact your confidence. With this being the 2nd house, maybe some of you are severing some kind of tie to a work colleague or situation that is negatively impacting your confidence. Maybe someone is constantly putting you down, doing you down, and you're ready to sever that connection. A lot of you are going to sever something completely with something or someone that really dents your confidence. So that could be that you have you know, a relationship with food that needs to be looked at. It could be that you have a relationship with money that needs to be looked at. Something that is really taking away your confidence, your empowerment, and your value for yourself. So for you, Leo, I feel around this time that you are very much looking at what is going to be good for you in terms of your spark, in terms of what makes you feel good, in terms of what makes you feel your best. And that can just be by getting rid of something on a very practical level, like maybe giving up dairy, maybe you're giving up alcohol, you know, something that is just not working for you, or that you have a full day of sitting at a desk. You now want to say, I'm going to go for an hour-long walk at lunch, something like that. It's going to really lift your mood, make you feel physically better, make you feel empowered. It might also be around this time that some of you are coming into a raise. Some of you are maybe coming into some money. Some of you are maybe getting a boost in your finances, or maybe some of you are getting some return on a financial matter, or something that you have worked on, and it's going to be something for you, Leo, that feels really good. It might be that you're getting a pay rise. You may be getting a new job that is going to boost your finances in some way, or you may be figuring out that I would actually quite like to go down this avenue because I feel like this suits the person I'm becoming. My values have shifted and this is the direction I want to go in, and that's what it is. That is what it is. That's what you want to do. That's exactly what you're going to do. There's a stubbornness with Leo when they realize what they want, and I think it's very empowering. So if something's taking away that sense of self, I think you're probably going to figure out what it is around this full moon. If it is a leak, you know, if it's something you're not aware of. We did get the 5 of Cups for you. 5 of Cups is about acknowledging what isn't working, yes, but not getting stuck there, realizing that at the same time we have something working for us. So the 2 of Cups are here. So perhaps for some of you, you've been so focused on the details of something that isn't working, that doesn't feel good, that you're not noticing the stuff that is working. So it's asking you to just realign that perspective. The 5 of Cups is very much about perspective. It's about putting a lot of emotion into the past, into what didn't work, thinking about it, ruminating on it. And that can sometimes make us feel very stuck, and it can also make us feel very insecure. So it's just asking you to focus on the stuff that is going well and what you have going for you and what it is that is working for you to shift out of this mindset. If you are feeling stuck there, as a lot of people have been, with so much of the sky being super focused, especially because it's super focused on the other side of you, Leo. This is asking you to focus on what is working, and this full moon in Virgo is going to show you that. So that's what I have for you, Leo, and I will talk to you soon. Bye. Hi Virgo, happy full moon in your sign. So Virgo, if you are sun, moon or rising at 27 degrees of Virgo, just know that this full moon is very important for you. If it's 25, 26 as well, or 28, 29 degrees of Virgo, very important full moon for you in general. But of course, if you're Virgo rising, this is happening in your first house. And if you're sun in Virgo, this is impacting your sense of self. So this full moon for you is going to be illuminating your sense of self, who you are. It's in your first house. It's obviously then opposite your 7th house of relationships, where we have a lot of energy. So this full moon is a time, Virgo, where you will find that a lot of people need you. A lot of people want to be around you. A lot of people are possibly clinging to you, as I say, like the handle in the bucket at this time. A lot of people are just so interested in you and what you're doing and what you're going to do next and who you are. You're in the spotlight. People just want to know you. People want to look at you. You're glowing. You are just everything. Everything that everybody needs at this time. That can be quite overwhelming because you are a sign associated with giving and being of service to others. But what do you want? What is it that you want for yourself at this time? What do you want your life to look like? What do you want yourself to look like? You might find around this time that you're suddenly seeing clothing and jewelry or accessories or shoes and stuff around this time that really suit how you feel, you know, as if you're thinking, this is just what I want. Or it might be around this time that you're deciding, I want to change my hair, I want to change my aesthetic, I want to change my image, or just, I want to be more positive, I want to be more true to myself. Now that's important because this trine to Pluto is in your 5th house of joy, of pleasure. It might be around this time, Virgo, that you figure out what makes you happy, and Pluto's going to support you in doing that and going for that. The North Node in Taurus, it's about your perspective and your higher self. You're going to be making changes to be more authentic, whether it's in your relationships, your romantic life, your artistic life, your creative life, your relationship with your children. You really want to, with this trine to Pluto, make positive changes, and because it's in the 5th house, you want to make fun changes that are going to impact your life in a fun way. For some of you, a romantic interest could be changing your perspective on yourself, maybe really boosting your confidence. Maybe a lot of people are interested in you and it's really making you feel good. Maybe a romantic partner is reminding you why you're so amazing. There's just this kind of boost to you that's coming from all angles here. Your ruler Mercury sextiling Uranus in your 9th house. You're probably getting a lot of inspiration from maybe quotes, maybe books, maybe other people, a lot of inspiring stuff that's going to make you feel very in favor by the cosmos. So I do think for a lot of you Virgos, your sense of self is changing, your perspective's changing. You might also get wonderful news from a partnership or a relationship around this time. Your tarot cards were the 6 of Cups and the Empress. A lot of you could be finding out with Pluto in your 5th house that you are pregnant. A lot of you could be very pregnant energies. There could be wonderful news surrounding a child, or maybe somebody in your life is pregnant and they're having a child, or there's an addition to your family. With this particular energy. A lot of you could also be reconnecting with someone who's very special to you, very dear to you, maybe a friend, maybe a romantic interest, maybe a past romance, maybe a past friend. There seems to be a really beautiful sense of connection here. You could be spending a lot more time with children, or you could be spending a lot of time with the Empress, your mother, developing your relationship there, Virgo. I do also think that with the Empress and 6 of Cups, this could be soulmate energy. A lot of you could be falling in love or meeting somebody very special around this time. You could be reconnecting with somebody, but I do think that there is just this beautiful sense of joy, of abundance, of pleasure and happiness around this time with the 6 of Cups and the Empress. But regardless, you're going to be looking good, you're going to be feeling good. I think a lot of people are going to be wanting you, needing you, and it's a beautiful full moon to have in your sign because it does have that earth trine to it. So Virgo, enjoy it. You are the Empress. May all good things come your way. And if you are dealing with a Taurus or a Libra, there could be some very special connection going on there. So that's what I have for you, Virgo. I hope you have a beautiful full moon, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hi Libra, so this full moon is happening in your 12th house. Now the 12th house is the subconscious, it's the unseen, it's behind the scenes, it is what we can feel but we're not necessarily aware of, it is hidden enemies where we self-sabotage, that sort of thing. So for you Libra, this full moon is illuminating that zone. So when you have a full moon in the 12th house, it can go many ways. It can be that your dreams are more intense. They're alerting you into your subconscious. Similarly, they can also be showing you a glimpse of the future. You could be having very symbolic dreams around this time, especially because it's Pisces season. You could be finding that there is a key message in your dream surrounding a symbol. Maybe an animal, maybe a symbol. Could be showing as a spirit guide at this time, so do pay attention. It could be that around this time you are finding out some news that is maybe not immediately pleasant, but it is important to know. And by that I mean it could be that somebody is not actually on your side with something, somebody's not presenting as who they say they are. It could also be that you're becoming very aware of what you need to stop doing in terms of self-sabotage. Maybe that is something to do with medication, like self-medication. Maybe it's to do with drinking something or ingesting something that's actually really bad for you. You know, there is this sense with the 12th house, I think, that just because it's legal doesn't mean it's good for you. You know what that, that kind of caveat, just because it is legal doesn't mean it's good for you. And I don't know why, but I just came to my mind earlier and I thought to myself, that's something for someone in this video, because the 12th house is to do with self-sabotage and hidden enemies. Sometimes it can be that something seems okay, but we can't actually do it ourselves, or we can't handle it ourselves. So this is sort of an expose of secrets. It's sort of an expose of what is going on within you. And it doesn't have to be the secrets that other people are keeping from you. So don't get paranoid around this time. It's just that it can be something that you're keeping from you. It could be something that you're doing to yourself that may seem okay, Maybe because it's legal. It might seem like it's okay for everyone else to do it, but not you, so you do it anyway. But if it doesn't work for you, then there may need to be a change in place. With the 12th house, we often see things like drugs, we see alcohol in the 12th house. So this might also be a time when you just want to be alone, like Greta Garbo. You just want to spend some time on your own. You're maybe not feeling very extroverted at this time. You're maybe not feeling very social at this time. So this is forming a trine to Pluto, and Pluto is of course in your 4th house. It has been since 2008, and Pluto is transforming your foundations. It's been very transformative in terms of home and family matters. These areas could look completely different now that Pluto is in the final stretch of this area. But Pluto is forming a supportive trine to this. So it might be that you actually have some good news comes out of the blue surrounding family. It might be that some good news comes out of the blue, or maybe not even out of the blue. Maybe something behind the scenes comes to fruition or comes to your awareness surrounding home matters, housing matters, family matters that is positive. It might also be with the North Node being there in the 8th house that if financially joint with a partner, there could be something coming to a head that needs to be discussed or needs to be worked through with a relationship. It might just also be that this is a very emotional full moon for you, and with Pluto in the 4th house, you might be looking back in the past and thinking, why did I do this? Why did I do that? Why did it have to work out that way? There could be a little bit of reflection, and this is because it is asking you to reflect in order to incorporate those lessons, that knowledge into your next steps, into the goals that you want to achieve for yourself, especially if you are looking to start a family or you're looking to change your family dynamics or your home dynamics. This full moon can show you where you're sabotaging in those particular areas and also where you're sabotaging in emotional relationships. For you, Libra, this 9 of Swords came up, meaning that your dreams are super important. Some of you could be waking up feeling anxious, or you could be suffering from anxiety surrounded by your sleeping patterns. So anxiety and sleep are very connected. It is a vicious circle, but I do think for a lot of you, you're looking to set a routine in terms of sleep. So maybe that's turn off your phone at 9. Maybe it's incorporating essential oils. Maybe it's your lighting needs to be changed in your bedroom, your sheets, or your environment in some way. Libra needs to be changed for you to have more restful sleep, and this is going to impact positively your mental health. But it is asking you to pay attention to your dreams around this time because they're trying to tell you something or show you something that you need to address, especially if it is to do with mental health. So this full moon could be very healing for you, I have to say, Libra, in that sense. So I hope you have a beautiful full moon, and I will talk to you soon. Bye. Hi Scorpio, welcome to your full moon segment. So Scorpio, this full moon is happening in your 11th house of Virgo. So this house for you is associated with friendships, with socializing, with groups, teams. It is associated with wish fulfillment because it is the 11th house, our aspirations, what we would like. And it is trining your ruler, Pluto, and the true node. So this full moon for you, Scorpio, looks like you are getting some sort of support in terms of a wish. You're getting some sort of support from friendships, from your partner, from your neighbors, from your siblings. This full moon is lighting up a lot of the relationships in your life. It is likely around this time that you could be spending some very important time with your friends. This is a wonderful weekend to get together with your friends. This is a wonderful weekend to achieve something on your bucket list, something you've always wanted to do, something you've always wanted to try, something you've always wanted to learn, something you've always wanted to have. This full moon is sort of saying, hey, this is a great weekend to achieve this if it is something that you want. In fact, the 2 weeks that follow, a wonderful time to spend with friends, wonderful time to spend with your goals, with teams, with like-minded people around this time. You might also find out around this full moon that a particular wish has manifested or is coming true. Because of its connection to Pluto in Capricorn, your 3rd house, there could be a conversation that works this way. Works in your favor. Somebody else could be telling you something you really want to hear, and it could also be surrounding a partnership, a marriage, a spouse, with the true node being in Taurus. So because of its connection there, it might be that you're deciding that that you have a goal with a spouse or a partner or a relationship in your life, or even your friendships. But this full moon is really highlighting a lot of the exciting stuff for you, Scorpio. Socializing with others, connecting with others. This is a wonderful weekend to network with other people, to be out and about, to be social. It's really not a weekend. And I know I keep saying weekend, but this full moon is falling on a weekend, and I think that's quite important. It's a wonderful time to socialize, to put yourself out there online as well. You might be getting some social media fame, you might be getting some popularity around this time, Scorpio. So do pay attention around this full moon. You might be getting some very exciting news from somebody else. You might be working towards a goal with friends or a partner, or something is coming to fruition. Your tarot card was actually the Six of Pentacles. So this does mean that somebody else, I feel like, is giving you something you want or something you need around this time. Also, the 11th house has to do with charity. So a lot of you could be working on something charitable or something healing for other people. A lot of you are going to find this weekend that the more you give, the more you receive. Perhaps you're getting some good karma for the charity work you've done, or the good work you've done, or the help that you have given. And there is some sort of reward manifesting for you. And it's not saying that you did it for this particular reward or manifestation, but it's that you've built up some good karma, Scorpio, and it's coming to you because of the work that you have done. But I also feel like it's a great weekend to be networking, because people are going to help you out. If you're single and you want to meet a new partner, or you want to be in a relationship, ask your friends to set you up with somebody, or ask or go online with the 11th house being there. If you're in a relationship with the true node in Taurus and you want to transform it in some way, this is a wonderful full moon to work on that as a team together. So that's what we have for you, Scorpio, and I will talk to you soon. Bye. Hi Sagittarius, welcome to the full moon in Virgo for your sign. So Sagittarius, this full moon is happening in your 10th house. Now this is to do with your career, your goals, it's to do with your public image. It is your midheaven. And this means for you, Sagittarius, that you're going to be in the spotlight around this full moon in terms of your public image and your reputation. It's going to be out there. So if you own your own business, or you're looking to get some recognition in terms of work, this is a time to put yourself out there, to put yourself forward, to put yourself online, to update your LinkedIn, to show your boss what you can do. Whatever this is in terms of your employment, in terms of your work, or in terms of your goals, this is a time to be seen. If you're not interested in anything work-wise, say you're retired, or say you're not, interested in changing anything, or you don't want anything specifically in terms of career, this is a wonderful full moon to realize a personal goal for yourself, something that you would like to do, something you would like to achieve for yourself. It doesn't necessarily have to be work-related. It could just be that you want to be known as something. You want a legacy of some kind. You want to be remembered as something. So you want to set up a new part of your public image. Maybe you want to get a new title of some kind, Sagittarius, whatever it is. There's a personal goal may come to fruition around this time. You might be recognized for something, or you might just be achieving something personal to yourself. But for sure, finding yourself in the spotlight, Sagittarius. This is going to be trining Pluto in your 2nd house. So for a lot of you, because of that being so favorable, you might be able to transform your finances based on the recognition you're getting, or based on the traction you're getting in your career. It might be that you are being recognized for a job well done, you're getting a raise, or you're getting a new title, or you're going to go up a pay grade, or you're going to, there just seems to be something about this Pluto trine that is meaning that this is going to either impact you in a positive way financially, or at the very least, it's going to give you a real boost in terms of your confidence, in terms of your personal growth, and how you see yourself is going to be transformed around this time. The true node is in Taurus, and Taurus is to do for you work. So it might be for a lot of you that you're changing what you do in your day-to-day around this time. With the true node going through your 6th house, it's putting a lot of focus on your health and your well-being. And these might be things you're taking into consideration if you are making a career change, you're getting some kind of recognition. For some of you, it could be changing your hours at work, or it could be that you are looking to incorporate more health into your environment. Maybe you're looking to put more plants on your desk. Maybe you're looking to go for a walk at lunchtime. Maybe you're looking to prepare your meals for the week in advance, something like this. There's a practical element going on in the background as well, Sagittarius. I do have to say though, we have a lot going on for you in your 4th house, and the 4th house is to do with the past. And I noticed with your card that we got the 3 of Swords, and I'm not saying this means that something bad is going to happen. The way that I'm seeing this for you is that a lot of you could have, because this is the Virgo Pisces axis and it's to do with health, I think a lot of you could have a heart chakra issue, and this is something that you can work through. So maybe there is a focus for you at the moment so much on career, so much on status, the practical, that you're not noticing if you're feeling a little bit off, or maybe you don't notice that you're feeling a little bit hurt by something, or you don't want to acknowledge something that has hurt you. I can almost feel my throat getting a bit choked up when I say that, so I just feel a little bit like some of you are dealing with, because this is the full moon of health in general, some of you are dealing with something that you're carrying with you, a hurt or a past experience or a fear maybe that is keeping you back around this time, and the full moon really wants you to let that come up and sort of, you know, maybe share it with somebody else, share it with someone in your personal life to let them know that you're not feeling 100%, and maybe be open to connecting with others in order to, you know, get that need met, because we do have a full moon coming up the following month in Libra. That is going to be very social and connected for you. And I just sort of feel a little bit, Sagittarius, like this card has come up for a reason. It is letting you know that it is okay to acknowledge your feelings, and that it is okay to be hurt by something, even if other things in your life are going very well, or maybe you're achieving what you want to achieve or achieving the goals that you want to achieve. Sometimes you can be carrying things from the past, and that Pisces energy is really asking you to talk about it, because Mercury and your ruler Jupiter are connected in your 4th house. So if you need to talk about the past, it's actually quite a good time to do so and get some things off your chest and heal a little bit. So that's what I have for you, Sagittarius. I will talk to you soon. Bye. Hi, Capricorn. So I love talking to the earth signs for this, because there's such a positive energy going on with this full moon for you guys. Full moon in Virgo is happening for you in your 9th house, and this is to do with travel. It is to do with your higher self. It's to do with your education. So it might be around this time, Capricorn, that you're getting some positive news surrounding your degree, surrounding your education, surrounding travel plans. It could be that you're traveling around this time, and if you are, it's a beautiful time to do so. There could be good news surrounding visas. There could be good news surrounding matters of travel in general with this full moon. The full moon might also be for you, if it's not happening that way, if it's not manifesting on a practical level in terms of these astrological themes, it could just be that you're getting a higher perspective on something. You're getting a higher vision. You're learning something that is enriching your life. Maybe you're finishing a book that has really inspired you. Maybe you're coming across a book that really inspires you. Maybe your vision is changing. Maybe your political vision is changing. Maybe your viewpoint on the world is changing thanks to something you have discovered. It is going to be trining Pluto in your 1st house, and this is changing you positively as a person. So I do feel like your vision of the world is changing, and therefore you're changing too. Your energy is changing, your vibration is changing, maybe the way you look is changing, especially if you're Capricorn rising. You're finding around this full moon that you maybe want to incorporate, say you have you know, a specific type of culture in your bloodline, in your history, in your family. You're maybe incorporating that more into even the way that you dress, or the way that you go about your day. You might just be incorporating your history into your new aesthetic, or the way that you look, or your viewpoint, because there is this really strong connection for you, Capricorn, here with your higher self, but also what is true to you on a personal level. I have to say, this full moon and Pluto are also trining your 5th house, and this can really benefit your children. This can really benefit your love life. This can benefit you if you're looking to conceive. This can be very artistic for you. In fact, Capricorn, for you, with the North Node being in Taurus, the next 1.5 years is really asking you to focus on creativity, pleasure, joy, love, romance, maybe even your children, you know, maybe your inner child. So I do kind of feel like for you, there is this big fundamental shift happening around this time that is to do with your perspective. It's just almost like you have a new viewpoint. You're maybe learning something, incorporating something into your life that is really expanding you. Say it's like yoga, or say it is meditation. Something is expanding you. Maybe you're learning about the law of attraction, or just something that makes you feel more empowered, something that makes you feel different, but in a good way. And we can see that by your tarot card, because we have the sun. I do feel like with the sun, the little baby on the horse is making me feel a lot of you are doing inner child work, or doing something you used to do as a kid, or you're doing something that is fun. You're doing something for the sake of fun, which is really wonderful around this time. Maybe taking a trip with the sun, going to a foreign location, planning a holiday, planning an adventure, maybe planning a honeymoon. You are maybe planning a baby, you may be having a baby. There is a lot of joy and happiness associated with this full moon for you, Capricorn, and I love it for you. I think it's a really wonderful full moon to just have fun and do something for the sake of happiness, like you would as a child. Do something because you want to do it, not because it's going to make you money, not because it's going to make you look better in the eyes of anybody else. Just do it for fun. Just do it for fun. Just do it for you. So that's what I have for you, Capricorn. I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Aquarius, welcome to the full moon in Virgo for you. So Aquarius, this full moon in Virgo is happening in your 8th house. So this full moon, because it's a grand trine happening here in Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus, this is lighting up your water sign houses, your emotional houses. And therefore, this full moon could feel a little bit more emotional than usual. So what can a full moon in the 8th show? It can show you your fears. It can show you your paranoia. It can show you your relationship with money when it comes to somebody else. So it could be that you're maybe thinking around this time of joining up with somebody financially, or financial matter is coming to fruition or is coming to a head that is associated with somebody else. It might be that you're getting a loan at this time. It might be as you're coming into an inheritance. You might be learning something about your mortgage, or getting a mortgage with your spouse or your partner. And this full moon is really exposing that energy. It might also be that if you're having an intimacy issue, the why behind it might come to the fore at this time, because it is trining Pluto in your sector of the hidden, in your sector of the subconscious. So what this means in a nutshell is that Pluto in your subconscious sector, the growth, the change spiritually, emotionally, mentally that you've been doing is going to show. And it's going to show up in terms of your relationship. It's going to show up in terms of your finances with other people. This is very associated with your relationship with others, I have to say. And it can just be, as I say, financially, your money, the government's money. It can be your money, your spouse's money. But it can also be your psychology, your fears if you're not in a relationship with anybody. So this full moon is really showing you the work you've done inwardly and how that's being exposed outwardly. And it's maybe casting a light on some fear that you have. Now, the North Node is in the picture here. It's part of the Grand Trine. And it's in your 4th house, meaning that you're leading the next year and a half with the home, with family. So these are kind of things that are at the forefront around this full moon. With the North Node being there, it's reminding you that the focus for the next year and a half is to do with the home and family matters. So perhaps you're having to do a lot of growth, a lot of spiritual understanding, a lot of emotional or psychological understanding regarding your relationship with your family, or regarding your relationship with your finances and your home set. So one of the things that came up for you a little bit with the 5 of Swords and the 9 of Wands is it's going to show you your guards with other people. It's going to show you where you maybe push people away because you're scared of getting close. You're scared of being hurt. It can show you a lot of the subconscious fears, or even the fears you're aware of but choose not to disempower. A lot of you are going to see where your guard is up a little bit too high around this time, or maybe something is going to make you aware of, possibly something regarding an attachment style. Maybe you're avoidant, or maybe you're anxious, but it's going to show you what your fears are and how maybe they're keeping you guarded. With the 9 of Wands here, it is saying to keep going because you're really on the verge of some sort of discovery, Aquarius, something that's going to make you grow as a person tremendously, whether it is to do with your spiritual work with the 12th house, something that you do that is psychic, or it could be something to do with your relationship with therapy, or it could be something to do with your relationship with the divine, whatever it is. You're on the precipice of some really significant growth that you're going to be becoming aware of. So that's what I have for you, Aquarius, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hi Pisces, welcome to the full moon in Virgo. So Pisces, we're nearing the end of your season and we still have a lot of energy putting you in the spotlight. The Sun, Mercury and Jupiter and Neptune are all in Pisces. So while you're still in the spotlight, this full moon is bringing a bit of an awareness to your partnerships, to your relationships. So when the full moon is in our relationship zone, it can sometimes bring issues within a relationship to a head. It can sometimes be a development of a relationship. It can sometimes be that you meet somebody that you're going to be in a relationship with. So what I'm saying for you, because of this trine to Pluto, there is this significant and promising change between you and a partner in terms of maybe a long-term goal, something that you want as a union, something that you want to do together, something that you want to have together. A partner seems to be helping you with a particular goal or achievement, or it might be that you're doing something as a pairing that you want to achieve together. So it feels like with Pluto being there in your 11th house and it being the house of wishes and this being the partnership angle, it might be for you that you are having some wish fulfillment regarding a relationship, or a relationship is helping you make a dream come true. Some of you with that Pluto energy might also be finding that a friendship is turning romantic, or it might be that you're meeting somebody through a friend or something like that. A friend could introduce you to your future spouse or something like that around this time. And the ruler of your relationship sector, Mercury, is also conjunct Jupiter in your sign. So there's really favorable energy surrounding a relationship, especially when it comes to communicating with the partnership. And it's sextiling Uranus in Taurus as well. So bringing this element of communication, because Taurus is your 3rd house. So you could be getting some very good news from a relationship at this time. The North Node is also in Taurus, which is to do with communication. So I do feel like you could be hearing something really positive regarding a relationship, or a communication dialogue could be starting up with someone that's going to be the person you marry, or someone that you're at least going to be in a relationship with for a while. So I feel like your relationship house is very highlighted at this time in a positive way. In fact, because this is the handle on the bucket, as I said in the beginning, your partnership seems to be very important at this time. So your partnership could really be helping you, be anchoring you in your personal goals and the things that you want to achieve at this time, what it is that you want. But because it is the handle, your partnership is going to be an incredible sense of importance and support. And if you're not in a relationship, I do feel like, because this is the handle, I do feel like you might, if you're meeting someone around this time, they might be very, very supportive in all areas, you know. So what I have for you, Pisces, in terms of the cards, the first one that came up, I've given you a couple. I gave Virgo and Pisces more than just one, because this is your axis. But we had the Nine of Swords come out, and this is to do with the strong theme in your 12th house. We still have Saturn there. I'm a Pisces rising, and Lord knows Saturn in the 12th house is such a, you know, it just sometimes really gets you. And Venus and Mars are also there as well. And this is telling me that a lot of you could be feeling kind of scared, and you maybe don't know why. You maybe feel very trapped and you don't know why. You have a lot of these fears coming up, a lot of this subconscious stuff, a lot of this anxiety coming up when we have such a host in the 12th house. And it's sort of saying to you, you know, a lot of these fears are very unfounded. We also have the King of Pentacles and the Page of Cups, meaning that I think a lot of you are developing a new skill around this time that might become a business. You might be able to sell your art. You might be able to use your skills, the things that you love to do, to make money. Or build a business. If you're in a creative profession or something healing even, you might be finding a lot of money coming around this time. I also feel like for a lot of you, this could be a sign of new love or relationship offers from somebody who's very stable, someone who's very practical potentially, because the King of Pentacles is associated with the earth signs and your 7th house is an earth sign. I do feel for a lot of you that there could be some very positive news regarding a relationship. The Page of Cups can be, you know, hearing I love you, or it can be a love letter, it can be a poem, or it can be a date, or it can be a gift from a spouse. something like this. I do feel like for a lot of you there could be a gift or an offer from somebody of a romantic interest. At the very least, it could be a business partner with the 7th house being occupied by this full moon, but I do feel the Page of Cups gives it a real romantic twist. So whatever this is, Pisces, I hope you enjoy it. I hope you have a beautiful full moon, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.